All right, guys, I think I'm live. I'm not sure. If I am, let me know. I don't know what the heck happened. Oh, see, there's nobody here. Everybody's running bad, late, not coming. However, I could not find my live button today. They had this reel button. All it said is real, like not E-A-L, but E-E-L. But Rod will be here in a little bit, so when he gets here, we'll start jamming on some stuff. But I apologize for being late. I'm going to go back on that side and see if anybody's on, giving me some thumbs up. I had to actually go through, so probably what you're going to see on there is that Pedro Rodriguez is on the Hook Chusul blueprint, Cadre blueprint. Again, I have no idea. I apologize. I was messing with this thing for the last 15 minutes trying to figure out what was going on. Doesn't show me a live button, just reel, and then a bunch of other crap. So then I went into Googled what they were trying to tell me. So we got to figure it out. So we're on. Welcome. Like I said, Rod will be here in a little bit. All right, a little frazzled here because I couldn't figure out the stupid live things pissing me off. I don't know if everybody else is having the problem, but there's a way for me to take that stupid reel off and put live. Send me a message to let me know how to do it. But last week, it might have been a couple of weeks ago now, we're talking about common situations. So when you guys are doing your drills, what I want to go back and reiterate, when we started talking about microsets months and months ago, okay, and you start hearing people, here's one of the reasons why microsets are so good. When people say trapping doesn't work, if you take a section of trapping and you microset it, drill it that way, and find the position you can find yourself in from that microset, like a high or a low reference point. How do you find yourself in a high reference point? Somebody just throws a jab and you put your hand up, boom, and you can come in and hit. But then the other thing we were talking about was timing. If you time it right, it'll work. Believe me, I've made trapping work. I've done chi-sao type things. They work. But your timing's got to be right, and you got to microset. So when you're doing the 108 moves on the Wing Chun dummy, going through all of them, knowing them all, putting them in the order that they go in, even if you got them in the wrong order, but trying to remember 108 things in a row just doesn't make sense because fights are never going to happen that way. You're not going to hit anybody 108 times. So if you microset the Wing Chun dummy, you'll be able to use the Mukjang in a real fight. If you microset Chi-Sao, all the different moves you can do in Chi-Sao, just isolate, which is another word for microset, isolate a move out of Chi-Sao, and then take that move and say, okay, how would I find myself with my hand here, their hand there? It doesn't have to be in the same exact position. It's just basically got to be the two important things. Is he high or low, inside or outside? That's basically it. So is your hand here? Whether it's like this or like this, doesn't matter. Is it a high or is it a low? Is his hand out here or is your hand out here? So in other words, are you inside? This means you're inside. He's outside, you're inside, or the other way around, right? So that's the only thing that matters. High, low, inside or outside. And then you figure, okay, what do I do from this position? And then you microset the Mukjang. You microset Chi-Sao. You microset Hubud, whether it's regular Hubud or it's 1-4 Hubud or it's 1-2 Hubud, okay? There's another one, well, there's a bunch of other drills, but you do the same thing, just go on down the line. Take whatever it is you do, let's say Ung Moon, same thing. Microset it, drill those, then you'll isolate a certain position or a certain spot that you end up in. And then from that position, that's when you start thinking, okay, visualize, kind of like, what's the word? What do they call that? Lamaze. They tell you visualize. Put yourself in this happy place. Put yourself, think if it's really hot out, think cool moss. So all those things, you visualize them. If you don't have a mirror, you just kind of, even with your eyes closed, you visualize that hand coming and you ended up going like this. So now again, you're at a high reference point, their hands on the outside. Can you do this? Can you pull in to do this? Can you grab here and knee? Okay, so all those things that you can do from those positions, and then that's how you'll get or make all those things that people say don't work, you can make them all useful. You can make them all practical. You can make them all functional. You see what I'm trying to say? And it's not that difficult. It's just you have to look at it. Okay, the same way we looked at, well, a downward block from traditional martial arts where reverse punch doesn't work. Well, the same thing we think negative, let's start thinking positive. How can I functionalize? How can I make Chi-Sao work? How can I make the straight blast work? I've seen the straight blast work in MMA. I've seen trapping work in MMA. I've seen trapping work and Chi-Sao. Just watch. It's on YouTube, there's a video of Duran. And I think the way they show it is backwards. They show him doing a bunch of stuff, then him, how the way he does it, how it resembles Chisao. How he stays on the inside, how he sticks, and he shoots right from there. He doesn't wind up. He works his hands inside by staying close or sticking, which I hate when they say sticky hands because it's energy is chi, it's not sticky, but it kind of looks like your hands are sticky. So you find that position, same thing as I'm doing. It doesn't matter. It's just high reference point, low reference point, inside or outside. And then that's where you're going to work the trap. That's where you're going to work the straight blast. That's what you're going to work. All the things that they say don't work. Chisao works because it's a sensitivity drill. It's going to work your sensitivity. And the concept of sensitivity works on the ground also. If you're on the ground and you're doing jits, it's the same thing. You feel where this guy's moving so you can snake your hands in, whether it's to grab a wrist and slide under the back of the tricep, to move things around, to get him into triangles. If it's to sneak hands in, whether it's 4 fingers in, whether it's thumb in, how you're going to choke across, grabbing lapels, and things like that. So it's setting yourself up, but it's understanding. That's why it's so important to understand, okay, where am I in this drill? And then you just micro set it. The whole thing is, yeah, it's never going to work like that if you're doing 7 things, 8 things, but 2 or 3, someone reaching for your, let's say, Gua Choi Ping Choi, right? It's the same exact thing, or Ping Choi Gua Choi, however you want to call it. I always say it backwards, doesn't make a difference. See what I'm trying to say? Somebody comes low, you put that hand out just to stop them. There's your reference point, and there's your back fist or bottom fist, however you want to do it. So if you micro set all of these things you're doing, actually if you micro set a traditional form and modify a little bit, that'll work too. It's just that entire length of form, and that's why they say, oh, well, Huba doesn't work, nobody's going to stab you like a knife like that. I'll tell you, I'll give you a challenge. Everything's about challenges now. The 21-day challenge, the challenge through this, the ice bucket challenge. Go and look at all your drills and micro set them and see at any one portion, if someone wants to come in and stab you, if you can quick do one move. It's 2 motions, but it's going to be 1 move. Both hands are going to move. You're going to stop that knife. Boom. If you poke them in the eye, they're going to go back. The problem is when you're trying to catch, what are you doing? You're just defense, defense, defense. You got a defense with offense. Okay, you got a defense with offense. You got a defense with offense. So you make sure that that shot doesn't hit you, and then you shock. The body can't go back and do this too. They're just going to shock. They're going to go back. So I challenge you to do that. Go and look into your drills, look into your doing your Ung Moon, look into doing your Mukjang, and you're going to find those points. Every move, if you make a single move, how easy it's going to be. And then you say, okay, wow, I'm isolating a piece of this. I'm isolating a part of it. And then you drill that part, or you isolate that part, and then visualize the practicality of functionality. How would I find myself in this situation? Which is a lot better to learn that way, because that's the problem with me saying you're going to stand here like this, and the other guy's going to be on the other side standing a certain way, and you're going to make a technique work, and you got to step 6 degrees this way, and when you hit him, he's got to land 5 degrees the other way. And then when things don't go that way, you find yourself lost. Where, like I said, you find yourself in a situation, high, low, inside, outside, and then you work it from there. And you can pull them out of all the drills. You'll see how you can land a Pox out, how you can land a Lops out, how you can land a straight blast, how you can make those drills work in a knife attack. Yeah, I don't know the guy's name. He's got a ton of views and a ton of followers in it. He says the ridiculousness of knife techniques. He's always talking about how, oh, the world of martial arts knife self-defense is bullshit or something like that. And the way he's doing it, you can make it look like shit, and you can have somebody else come in and make it look right. So it all depends what it is that people are saying. How are you, Rod? Good to see you.
Nice to see you.
Sorry you were caught in traffic. I was on here trying to get on this thing for like 15 minutes. My live button isn't on there anymore. It just says reel, a bunch of other stuff. So I have to just tap like I'm going to put a post, and then it gives me the live version. So I'm hoping I'm live.
My IT skills are...
Oh, my IT skills are about as good as my rope climbing skills. So I'm just talking to them about how to make things realistic, and how anything that we do, because there's a lot of stuff out there on how the traditional martial arts don't work, the drills from Filipino Kali don't work, Wing Chun doesn't, nothing works for these people, only what they do. Which then, but the funny thing is you go back and search, they've never gotten a black belt in any system. That's the other crazy thing. They just dabbled in something or see it on YouTube or went to a couple of seminars. Now, half of these guys, you look and have no lineage, no trajectory. You know, they did, Wing Chun for a year, and they did Kung Fu Sansu for 3 months, and they did, Hu Flung Dung and Some Dumb Guy and Fooling You and all kinds of crap. And then on the other, by comparison, I've got my Black Sash in Wing Chun. I've got certification in JKD. I've got my certification in Modern Arnis. And not only that, direct lineage back to the founders. So I can tell you the guy that trained with, the guy that trained with, the guy that made this happen. Whether it be Ip Man, Young Soo Choi, Jigoro Kano, Remy Presas, Bruce Lee, whoever it is, direct lineage. And I've taken the time to become certified in all these things, and high-level certification. So you can take their word for it, or like I was telling them, take the bits and pieces, isolate pieces of these drills, and you'll get the techniques. Because fights are pretty simple. If a guy throws a haymaker, in the history of self-defense, has anyone run through an entire form and done a martial arts form to defend themselves? It's been a piece. So why not take it that way instead of learning all these forms? Just take all these little pieces. And I've been saying it for years. And then if you want to do forms, if you like doing forms, take a bunch of little pieces, put them together, you got a form. But you put the pieces together however you want. Because in a fight, you're never, I'm telling you, I haven't seen a single form. And I've seen all of them from all different styles, hundreds of times each. And it's never going to happen the way it does in a form. The entire thing. Ever, 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 ever. It's not going to happen. So then why are we practicing it that way? Well, it makes sense to do. Well, then explain it that way. That if we do an entire drill, like throw a right hand, and we're going to do an entire drill, right? And I'm going to do all these moves, and then you're just going to put your hand up, right? You just let me do the drill, right? And you would do the same thing. Throw the punch, you would go 1, 2, 3, and then you would go 1, come underneath, 2, spin it out of the way, and then just throw yours, and then we just keep doing that, right? Well, I've never seen that in a fight either. You're absolutely right. But reach like you're going to smack my cap off. And I go like this, well, then I can do that, right?
Yeah.
So that's where I'm saying visualization. From here, boom, I pause it. I isolate this moment in time and say, okay, how would I find myself here? Well, maybe not here, but here. So what I'm saying is, as long as their hand is on the outside high, or my hand is on the outside high, or you go to punch me in the stomach, and no matter what I do, my hand is on the outside low, or punch me in the stomach again, my hand's on the inside low. That's all I got to worry about. What am I going to do from here? Well, I'll probably swing you open. I wouldn't want to come back out to the outside. And if I'm on the outside, I'm just going to push, right? So that's all you have to worry about. And you get that from the drill. So whenever you find yourself throw the punch here in the drill, when you find yourself here in the drill, when you find yourself here on the drill, it would be I'm either low outside, low inside, high inside, or high outside. Those are the only places I could be. On the outside, here or here, or on the inside, here or here, or somewhere in the middle. So, well, what if he's here? Well, that's not high or low, but most of this, just like this. So most of the middle stuff, you can use a low style technique for it. So if I'm outside, if you're crossed, it doesn't matter, because it's just a matter of either doing this, or if I'm here, doing this. I'm still just slapping and going forward. Right? If I'm here, I'm slapping and going forward, slapping and going forward, swinging, right? So, but again, you have to use your brain, and that's why teaching concepts is so important. It makes you use your brain. You know what I'm saying?
When you were talking about all the different martial arts styles, I was thinking how in academia, this guy's got a PhD in this guy's a PhD in that. Does that mean anything? Maybe, maybe not. Aristotle, Plato, Socrates, they didn't have any of that, and they did just fine.
Yeah.
So that, titles and letters and...
So it's important to understand that no matter how... This thing's in blue, it's not in red. Let me go back here real quick and see if I'm on. Jefe, estoy, buena. All right, good to see that I'm on, and I apologize, guys. Go on yours and check if you can let me know and see if the live button just happened to disappear this week, because it was there last week, but I couldn't find mine.
Even though I have precious little experience with the sensitivity drills, I can see that that's meaningful, and that over time, if one has some skills in that would be helpful once...
Like timing with your brakes, very important. If you wait too late to press your brakes, Some people may freak out. Some people may just, I mean, it depends on the person. You may cool as a cucumber and be able to just press your brakes and figure out how to get out of the situation. Some people just nail the brakes and then lock your brakes up and then you go sliding. If you're in the rain, 9 out of 10, you're gonna hit the brake and just start sliding. Because once you wait too late, that car's in front of you, it's just a natural response. It's a quick little story, even though it's kind of weird. I was telling my wife, man, this is ridiculous. It'd be nice because there's so many stupid drivers. I should just stay in my lane and let them hit me and then get out and beat their ass or this or that. And I've been talking about it for like weeks. And every day almost somebody, she called me the other day on the way from Miami. Somebody just cut her off and she was just going nuts. And then they started laughing at her when they got to the light. She wanted to get out and beat their ass, which you can't do because you'll go to jail. Or sit there and let them hit you and then sue them and let them fix your car.
I just don't want to hear that metal crumpling sound.
So, but as soon as you see that, you're going to move. Even if you were just thinking about just sitting there and letting somebody smash your car so you can get a new paint job or whatever. But it's just, we're not wired for that. So you immediately move, even though you're thinking, man, it'd be nice to get that, new paint job. But we just don't think that way. So even though, let's say, like I said, you have a fanny pack, right? You're just reaching for my fanny pack. What would make sense is whatever hand is closer, reach to either do this or this. Wouldn't matter which hand it would be. Would be to reach, would be to just go like that. That's it, right? It wouldn't make sense, go like that, for me to do this, right? But what if I react that way? That's what I'm saying. So these drills that don't make sense, like, now I'm trying to remember the name of the drill and I can't remember the name. There's so damn many of them. But basically the way the drill goes, if you're to, let's say, stab, I'll give you a knife. So we have a knife. And it's called, like I said, I can't remember what it's called. Oh, wait a second, Palisade. Palisade is the name of the drill. And did you hear what I just said? Palisade or Palisade? I don't even know how they pronounce it. Where are my other knives? I had a ton of knives and now I can't find them. All right, come on, people.
Make a knife hand.
All right, no, I got this one. There we go. So I'll give you this one. So you're gonna have the knife like this. And I'm just going to show the drill, not for the importance of the drill, but it'd be nice. If you guys want to do it, you can do it. The reason I don't teach it, because it's not, in Jeet Kune Do terms, it violates, with a big way, violates economy of motion. It would be like, instead of me going like this to you, boom, I just decide to start going, you know what, I'm feeling funky. Slide this way a little bit, and I just start doing this. Well, that punch is going to take forever to get there with no power. Obviously, I'm exaggerating. The Palisade drill is, if you're going like this to me, okay, I have it in Bakal, you have it in Suk Suk, which again, terms that nobody gives a shit about. So you're just basically gonna go and try to stab me. And I go like this, I move this out of the way, right? Then I pop your arm out of the way, and after I pop the arm, I go to swing, and then I go to swing here, which to me, I would go right to the face. I wouldn't swing out of the way, go here, and just go here. I would just swing you out of the way and go boom and get you right in the face. But again, the way the drill goes is I scoop this, which I just don't like, takes too long. But it doesn't negate the drill. Why? What if you do react that way and I did have enough time to swing this out of the way? Okay, now it's a good technique, right? But I always microset. I don't do the entire Palisade drill. But the way it goes is I swing this out of the way, I cup your elbow and come back at the same time, right? Almost like what we do on the one where we cover, right? We cover, we hit, we go through here and we slap. And at the same time I'm coming back, it's that same concept. So you go straight, I hook around, I pop this here, right? And as I go to hit you, but since it's a drill, I don't sit there and pin you. I just put it there and allow you to move. Because now what you're gonna do is underneath, with this hand, as I go to do this, you're just gonna stop my elbow. Underneath, underneath, underneath. Boom, there you go. Stop the elbow just underneath. That's all you're gonna do. So you're gonna go, same thing I'm doing, you're gonna do. All right? So again, 1, 2, 3. You stop mine underneath. There you go. And slide over that way a little bit. There you go. See how you did that? So that's the beginning of that drill. Again, you go to poke and I just swing this out of the way. I pop this and go here. I go to hit you and you step over there and put your elbow out. I mean, put over, under, not over. Under. There you go. Got it? So, is it a viable drill? Yeah. Let's say instead of going wide, my hand drops. This is basically the same thing, even though it's a straight line as opposed to a circular line, but I still did the same thing. Let's get a little closer. So you cut and I go 1, 2, 3, and you just stop mine. And then you just isolate. So that's the part that I want to just use. I just want to isolate that part of the drill. So you push, I swing, I push, come back and swing. So that way you use that concept, just push, swing. So as you're pushing, right, that's a pushing motion, I'm using a swinging motion. And then I'm gonna use a push and pull and push again, right? So all we're doing is this, right? Hands are going out and in, right? And then you just step off a little bit so I don't stab you there. See, what you don't wanna do is, because now your knife is way over there, right? What you wanna do is get back here, you're gonna go in, boom, boom, just step off to the side, under. Stop going over your hand. There's just too much space there. Watch, one more time. As soon as I go to cut you, you just take this and do that. That's it, that's the quickest thing you do. Boom, boom. To go over, this is gonna have to happen. Because see, your hand is there. For you to get to my elbow, you're going out of your way, right? But you wanna go under that hand.
Under?
Yeah, under. Because now, if you do this, I can trap your knife hand. If I do this, your knife hand's still on top. All you gotta do is push forward. Easier to do that than now you have 3 barriers to deal with. This one, and that one. Here, it's just these 2, yours and mine. Here, you're gonna have to deal with both of yours and mine. And then you gotta pull that hand all the way out there or do something else with it. So you wanna be underneath with this hand here. Because guess what? I'm not gonna be thinking about that hand, I'm thinking about that one. It's the one with the knife. So you want that one as close as you can to me, right? So again, you go to poke, we just come under, I push this out of the way as I come back and I go to stab you. And you just step off and stop, there you go, right there. Boom, see? So I'm trying to push, see? That's nice, that's good, right? You do it the other way, over, go over your own hand, the wrong way. Do it the wrong way now. So instead of doing this, do it the way you did it before, over. There you go, over and under, that's over, that's under, real simple. Over, under, right? So if you do it the wrong way, push. See? You got a problem here. All I gotta do is I turn out and I just start cutting, right? And it's the quickest thing, pop! You just move that leg. And so now, the other thing is when you wanna isolate and you'll cut it down even further as you go to stab, I'll just do this. You go to stab, and we'll do this 100 times, 100 times, 100 times. Then we'll go 1, 2, right? 1, 2. So we're isolating. See what I'm trying to say? So if you do the whole drill, the whole thing, you're coming in and I'm going to go boom, boom. You're going to stop this one here. Boom, right? And then you're going to cut towards my head. And I'm going to release this and I'm going to go here. It's not going to happen. It's too much stuff, right? But any piece of that works. Let's say we are, right? Right now we isolate this part. Then we isolate this part. Then we isolate that part. So I just get out of the way and I just go boom, right? Again, boom, cut, 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 boom, right? That's part of the drill. But again, this happening, stop mine, step over there, cut me high over here, and I go here, right? And then now I'll do the same thing. I'll remove with a wide move out here and then come and stab you high or whatever. Too much time, too much stuff. Now, what can I do from this one? Let's go here. We went here, I went here. You're gonna do your move, boom. And now from here, right, you go to cut me up here and I could just start isolating this move. So again, we're here. There you go to cut my face. I isolate that move. Again, you're low, you go to cut my face. That's the only thing I can do. If I try to do anything else, it's gonna take too long. From here, right, you're underneath with that one, underneath with this one, underneath with this one.
Underneath.
When I say underneath, just go underneath. There you go. We did it 100 times. Beautiful. Turn back here. There you go. Again, underneath just means this. Bring that hand underneath. There you go. Bring it over. Underneath. Over. Super simple. See what I keep telling you? And I'm not yelling at you. You overthink.
Right.
You just overthink. This shit is so easy. Listen to me when I tell you. And it's not that I'm making excuses. Never look for a pity party. I got some serious retention issues since I had my car wreck. Bad. I mean, stuff that I'm just like, the middle of a sentence, forget where I'm at. People are like, oh, yeah, I get that. No, you're not understanding. This is not where you interrupted me and I forgot where I was going. It's like I finished saying going, and I don't know what the hell my next word was. And I'll look around and, I mean, bad, like, where am I kind of shit. So, this is a perfect example of that. Just, if I can do this stuff, anybody can. But what happens is we're overthinking. And there's no thinking. Believe me, when somebody's coming to do this to you, what you're doing, even though you think you're thinking about, you're not thinking about shit, you're reacting. There's no thought process. That's just like, there's no thought process. When you put, I'm sure if I was to tell you, if you didn't know, and your body had no reaction, like, I don't know if you ever saw, and for you guys out there, and this is a true story, this girl is born with no pain sensors, her nerves, right? They got to send her to play fully helmeted.
Yeah, it's a big problem.
She walked in home one day, that's how the parents found out, and her arm is shaped like a freaking pretzel, and the kid just walks in like it's nothing. Arm is swinging around, and it's all, parents, what? They go to take her to the doctor, obviously things broken in like I don't know how many places. She didn't feel a damn thing. Then another time she almost poked her eye out, didn't feel a thing. So this girl's got to go out in like full hazmat and Kevlar because she doesn't feel pain, which is a perfect example of why I tell people training yourself to handle pain is good. To block pain is stupid. Just like when people are taught not to flinch. Flinching is a good thing because when something bad comes at you, if you don't flinch, worse things happen. This is bad. Right, no, stay right there. This happening right now, this situation is bad. If you stay there, it gets worse. Now, if you flinch, if I go to like this, boom, there you go. That's a natural response. So that's what we're trying to build. Build on those natural responses. You going like this. Okay, that is not a bong sound by any means. But if you just go like this, you've got a bong and a woo. This, you're never going to see. How am I going to teach you to turn anything that happens in real life into this? Number one, I wouldn't because it's a shit place to be. But it's easy to modify your natural reaction into a bong, right? Or into a ton, or into a pock, right? Or into a lop, right? So you need to start thinking that way. You know, what makes sense? You know, oh yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Going over, you see, that's work. Something's coming at you like that, you just better go, poop. That's what makes the most sense. This, you see how you're going through all this extra step? It's fine if I'm taking a bat, which is really heavy, and you can see me lumbering to get it back and then go like this. Well, hell, you can write on your calendar what you plan on doing. You don't even need a watch to time that one. You can time that on a calendar, right? So breaking it down to this is followed by this, is followed by this. Go ahead and go underneath and stop it. Is followed by at the elbow, just like I'm stopping. There you go. And then you're going to step there. Then you're going to take this and try to stab me in the ear. Boom. And I go here, right? And then we're golden. And then I just remove this. And then we can just start doing this. Or I can come underneath. But it's not really just like who-bud. Two people who-budding back and forth, you're never going to see in a bar. And you're never going to see this one. I just said it 5 minutes ago. Palasut. Palasut. Okay? We go boop. And I go, boop, right? Then I go, boop. So I got one, you do one move, I do one move, I do two moves, right? A push and a pull. Then I do one move, you do one move, I go to go there, and you're gonna do the same thing I'm doing here. You're just gonna go, pop, right? Boom, and you stop that at the elbow, right? There you go, right? Push me here, the wrong place, at the wrist like you did before, right? You push at the wrist, right? You got a chance that you, just now push. Then I'm just gonna go like this, and you're gonna have a load of shit. Now push up my elbow.
Without the knife, the same thing. You're still gonna.
So see how it's important? And then that's why you drill those little things. So that if you're stabbing me, I would love to be pushing you here. Just in case I do this, the problem is with pushing there, giving you a chance to stab me. But in a perfect world, that's where I'd want to push you off. Not here. And let that elbow come up and over, pin my arm. Come up and over and pin my arm with your elbow. Boom, and then just come over with this and go, yeah. It's a shit day for me there, right? And then I got to make the straightest lines. When it comes to this stuff, I want straight lines. So instead of, there's another way of doing it. If you're attacking high and it's a cut high, boom, and you pass again, the same thing. Palasut, where it's, I'm turning, I'm going here, I'm checking here. Anytime you're doing anything circular and there's a knife involved, it's a shit show. Because most people don't cut circular, and when they do, they're short circles, right? It's a half a circle, a quarter circle, like you have a quarter moon, a half moon. People don't go like this to cut you. People don't cut like this, even when they're carving out a jack-o'-lantern, right?
I would think someone's either gonna either stabbed or slashed. The average
And this here,
person.
I mean, unless you're
I know,
watching the
TV
Bates,
shows,
yeah, the
yeah.
Bates Motel, Hotel, I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
So let's isolate. Let's take the knives out of the equation, because as many times as there are knives involved in a fight, they're much harder to deal with. So that's why you work the concepts, and you don't need to work the concept with the knife in your hand. So we're gonna work the same palasat as if you were reaching for my fanny pack, right? So you're just gonna reach for the fanny pack. Boom, reach for a fanny pack, boom, reach for the fanny pack, boom. And I'm gonna use the circular motion, but instead of doing this, my hands shouldn't be down here anyway. If they are down here, I don't wanna bring my hand around here to do this. So if my hands will happen to be down and you reach here, I'm gonna make a small circle. I'm gonna make a small circle. This is gonna take me too long. My elbow's gonna stay down as low as possible in case I've gotta do, so it's more like a hewn sow circular motion to get it out of the way, right? And then I'm gonna pat here, I'm just gonna touch my own rib. Just gonna go here, okay? So you're gonna do that. You guys better go and do that 100 times too. Make it a small circle, pat the elbow, and bring this one back at the same time. Pop. And then you start isolating just this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you do it about 10 times. You see? So instead of doing this big circle and this big motion, you're just gonna remove this in a circular motion, remove this in a circular motion, and then touch here. Remove this, touch here. Remove, touch. Remove, touch. Remove, touch. And then from here, again, if I was to take your ribs and I had nothing in my hand, just my hands, boom, I could do this. I could do a bottom fist. If I got close, same thing. If I happen to have gone like this and tripped and been here, I'll just use, it's gonna be the same motion from here, but I can use my hand, I can use my knife hand, I can use my forearm. All right? So I'm gonna go get a thing of water now real quick. Do it in the mirror. So what I want you to do is just picture that coming in, and you're gonna go, move back so you guys can see it too. You're just gonna move this. 1, move your body. This stepping out of the way of things, if it really worked, boxers would be jumping out of the way of things, okay? It's not like a train that you see coming, right? Because it's huge, and it's like, okay, it's not moving as fast as a punch, let me jump and get the hell out of the way. You can't do that with a punch, because punches don't move in miles per hour. Trains move in miles per hour. You never see a train leave and go a couple of inches and be like, all right, you guys are here, glad to have been here. Or a plane, right? They move in miles per hour, and they're fast as shit, 500 and something miles per hour.
Right.
But they're that fast because they got to cover a big distance. You don't need to have something. Do you think if you worked 40 feet from your house and everything around you could get to, because the world was about 17 square miles? Shit, if the world, you wouldn't need even bicycles. You could walk 17 miles. What's the big deal, right? And everything would be in, how are you moving? You're probably moving in feet per second because you're walking. They're not going to measure, oh, how fast are you going? Miles per hour. It would be like 13. You're like, oh, shit, 12. You know what I'm saying? So what you want to say is, or do, and I don't think you could even walk that fast. You'd have to have like a jog going on, right? So feet per second, you're thinking, right? They're covering that distance fast, and you're going to go boom. Covering that distance fast, boom. Covering that distance fast, boom. And then you're going to do that about 15 times, and then you're going to do it on the other side. So it's a circular motion, but don't do this and wave from your shoulders down to your waist, which is what you'll see. If you see the drill, it's moving. Your hand is like making a circle about that big. Well, you want to make that circle about this big, right? So your hand is here, you're just going to go. See? It doesn't even get up to your chest, and it's already coming back down. Not up here. Back, boom, right? Boom. And then this one is going to pop at the elbow. But first you're going to do this about 10 or 15 times. All right, peeps. Let's practice at home real quick. Drop that there. Sorry, I see you're out there. David, I mean, he's out there too. Well, Whoever's out there. Because that elbow's going to be low. Look about the height of that elbow. If I'm stabbing you in the gut, just stop my elbow. See? That's about where it's going to be. You don't want to be going above that because the elbow, for my elbow to be up here, it would be like a head or a neck shot. All right? Now, and again, remember, we're going to build up to doing the entire drill. But what happens is, some people call it bunkai, waza, the meaning. They'll show you do the entire drill. Hook. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Just a drill. 3. Hubad. There you go. Good. Pin it down. Throw your hook. 1. Hook punch. This is a hook punch. There you go. Under. Swing it out of the way. Underneath and swing it. There you go. Swing it out of the way. There you go. Boom, boom. See how you're overreacting? My hand's way over here. Just a little pop, and it's going to make my hand go. So watch me. 1, 2, 3. Again. 1, 2. Beautiful. 3. It's a hook punch, brother. So remember, when we're doing drills, you got to start separating these things and stop thinking of always hitting. Stop thinking of always blocking. You got to clear your mind and be like, okay, we're doing a drill. This drill is to deal with this attribute. Not just swing something because something's open and just throw a punch, because what's going to happen is we can't work the drill and then the world of, and I understand because 90% of people that way. Well, if I had him here, I'd just punch him straight in the face. Yeah, I know what you would do. The reason we do things is because why don't you just go to work and pick up a $900 check every day? Be nice, right? Just go to, hey, I want a check. I want to get paid every day, $900 a day. 1,000 is too much, but I want to take $900 a day. 4,500 a week, it's about 19,000 a month. Or 18. Not going to happen, bro. I mean, well, it might happen to some people, but it'd be great to do that. It'd be great to get paid every day, or at least every week. Most companies now pay every 2 weeks, or on the 1st and the 15th. Great, we don't always get what we want, right? We don't always get the direct route, which would be get cash deposited in your account, no taxes taken out, and you get it daily. That would be what most people think. Well, I would do this and I would do that. Well, yeah, but the only reason is because this is a drill. You're not going to find yourself in a situation that easy. So when we're doing a drill, get everything out of your mind and just relax and be like, okay, we're making a wing, a wipe, and a pat. A wing, a wipe, and a pat. It's like a wiper, right? It's like a wing. Looks like a wing, right? You ever see a wing? I hit. Because if I don't do this, you can't put your wing up, right? I wouldn't try putting this up for a hook punch. Is not a good idea.
No.
Hold it out there. It's just force versus force. Now, if you put that wing and kind of deflect it, as you put up that wing, that's what happens. You're deflecting. Don't try to stop hook punches. It hurts. And if you miss, it hurts even more, right? So if it's circular, you're going like this, right? If it's straight, you're just moving out of the way, right? You're not trying to block in any instance. You're just parrying it out of the way or evading. And that shoulder is up, so you're not getting hit in the jaw. And then you break it into pieces. Again, I'm not saying you can't do all 108 Wing Chun moves. It's going to take you longer to be a good fighter. I'm not saying don't do the complete who, but, and everything else. Break it down and do it in pieces. Because you can't learn. I've never seen someone teach the whole thing and go to it. Once they show it to you, all, let's say 7 moves, then they'll have you do this. Okay, you're going to be here, and then from here you go here. So they break it down in pieces. So I don't understand why in most systems they'll teach you an entire form, piece by piece, little by little, with details on the move, just what you're doing. Not explaining to you this is the equivalent of somebody kicking you, somebody punching you, and you're doing this. So then after you waste about a month, you learn the technique, then they start showing you where those pieces come in. The only problem is you've already started with that block in your head. By day 3, you're like, this is bullshit. This is never going to happen this way. And now I got to deal through that frustration. So it takes you a month to learn the thing, and at the end of it, you're just going like this. You don't want to hear anymore, because I've been bullshitting you for so long. You're just like, this doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense. And then after everything, now years later, there's all these traditional guys saying, see, this is the hidden meaning in this move, and this is, well, why? Why? It would be like me. Do we do that to our kids? Like trick them into potty training or trick them? No, we want to teach them how to eat on their own. You know, you see them when they first start, they're all screwed up. But most parents take the most direct route to teach the kid how to do it, right? You don't make it harder for your kid to become potty trained, and the kid's walking around in diapers at 9 years old because you're playing this traditional trick on how it works. And then after 3 months, you're going to explain to him that he's got to pull his pants down after he shit his pants 75 times. It's not the way it works. But in martial arts, that's what they do. They make you do this shit without asking any questions forever. And now they're trying to tell me, you know, that this actually means you're pulling on an arm and breaking it. So why not just tell me that? Because I've never done this before. This doesn't make sense to me, right? This doesn't make sense to me. None of this. But now it means that I'm going to pull on it. But where am I pulling on that arm from? Then they try to say from a strike. Dude, you're not pulling anybody. So you're going to catch an arm in the air, pull it, and break it at the elbow. I'm going to catch your arm in the air and do this. I call bullshit. So even when they do try to explain it.
But you do catch it, you, not me, but you would be able to catch it in a bong sao.
That's not a catch. That's a deflect. Yeah.
And then.
Exactly. But this, where in here do you see a bong sao? Where can I take you from here into a bong sao? Nowhere. Where can I take you into pulling an arm from here? Nowhere. From here I can, because that arm is riding on here and just, it's up there already. Now you can pull on that arm and maybe break it even. So this would have made more sense, which looks a little kung fu-y, but this sure as fuck doesn't make any sense. None. So it's years and years, and I'm telling you, to break it down is like going in the ocean every day, and all you need to do is saturate a sponge. To run it under the faucet, right? Why would you go to the ocean to saturate a sponge? You could probably spit long enough and saturate a sponge. And that's what it is. They give this ocean of shit.
You're being clear. I said I'm being clumsy, but you are being clear.
No, and I'm not saying that you are or aren't clumsy. Because no one is going to be this, you know, Michael Jordan slam dunking. I mean, it's very, but what I want you to start getting is just to relax. Because you're thinking, when you're thinking, if you see my hand go out, just pop something out there. More times than not, your response is probably going to be better than this thought out process. Because number one, it's going to take too long. You know, and if you just do it, I can correct you that quick. Just do some pop, pop. Okay, no, underneath. Just pop it under. Just pop it. Okay, pop, 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 pop. So it's not like I'm yelling. Sometimes I just get too loud. But what I want you to definitely get, and if I do got to yell, I'll yell. Like whatever it takes to get it in your head, just relax. Just do what's natural. You know, going over, you know, when there's a knife involved, you're going to get that, just like there's no thought process. If you had, like I said, the girl before, with no feelings, right, no nerves, and you didn't know anything about electricity, you didn't know anything about electrocution, and your body didn't sense like this girl, and you went up here, you know, and you went like this, and that electricity starts to go through you, and you're like, wow, you're starting to fry, you're starting to smell something burning, and you're like, oh shit, that's odd. And you're probably gonna go get away from it, right? But by then, so much damage is done. And just because you didn't feel the burn, you know, like they say in the gym, feel the burn, you overdo something. Take that girl, same thing. She's lifting, she doesn't feel anything. Pop, pop, pop. Tendons start to snap, ligaments start to tear. So pain is a sensor, it's an indicator, right? It's good. It's good to feel pain. It lets you know, cool it, slow down. What's going on? Let's see what's happening here. Let's assess, right? Good. Flinching. You're getting away from something that might be bad. Makes sense. You flinch if you hear a loud noise. Why? You're trying to get away from that loud noise, because the further you are from it, I guarantee you if a bomb goes off 7 miles from here, you won't even know what happened. If it goes off 7 feet, you're probably going to lose your hearing, right? 7 feet, probably your life. You know what I'm saying? 20, 30 feet, some hearing.
And while I'm not sure if I've experienced this, that if you do have a loud noise, something that your natural reaction would be.
All right, let's keep going. I'm going to start. So I'm going to reach for the fanny pack. You're going to swing down. Remember, right hand. There you go. Swing down. Catch the elbow. There you go. Okay? Again. Swing it. Catch the elbow. Pop the elbow. There you go. And bring this one back now. Swing, catch the elbow, and pop that one back. There you go.
So
Just like this. Watch. Just like in the mirror. You get in front of the mirror. And you're just going to start here.
just slapping it.
Just do this. Think about doing that. Think about a low bounce though. Just swing it out of the way.
Okay.
Swing it out of the way. Swing it out of the way. Swing it out of the way. But, so you got to remember to go there to make sure you don't miss it. I don't want it to be here. Right over here. Boom. Right over it. All right. So you're circling it. So instead of making this long pass, just think about not a tractor trailer, a go-kart. Not a tractor, right? A go-kart. We're going to make that small little stroke, that tight little turn. Whoop! And get over there. Make that tight little turn. Right? And after you do that, you make a little swing. Boom. Right? Boom. So after you've done this, you go boom. 1, 2. 1, 2. Again, over here. So I'm going to reach. So it comes around. Just the 1. You're just going to do the 1 right now. Put your hands where up here, like you were praying. Swing it down. See how this is what I want. You're making all these hard karate moves because you're circular. There should be a little bend there. Circular, circular. You're going like this. That's not circular. Make it smooth. There you go. Smooth. The elbow comes up a little bit. The elbow comes up a little bit. Boom. There you go. Boom. 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 Step right here. There you go. Boom. 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 Now, pop that elbow. Pop. Good. Again. Pop. Good. Again. Pop. Pop. Now, as you pop that elbow, get that elbow, bring this one, and slap yourself right there. Boop. There you go. Boop. Remember, it's stop. Don't stop with the elbow. And then elbow and move this one. There you go. Boom, boom. Boom. 1, 2, 3 are together. 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 Now get yourself in a little bit of a better stance. Don't stand so square. There you go. You don't have to be in a fighting stance because most times you're not, you know. We don't walk around.
You're
It's
just
like,
standing there.
can I get a Big Mac? Would you like to, give me a Big Mac, lady. Because this, you know what I mean? So, again, isolate just that one, just the one. Pop, 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 pop. And then we're going to start here and just isolate. We're going to start here. That's why we do reference point. There you go. Start here, go. Back, go. When I say go, move like I electrocuted you. Start, ready, go. There you go. Back here. And that's how you want to isolate it. Go. Back. Go. All right, engage. When I say go. Go for it. Oh, there you go. Go. There you go, back. Go. Go. And now, stay. Every time I say go, you only go when I say go. So on the engage part, I'm going to say go, but you're going to engage from, ready, go. Now you're going to engage, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to put that out in that bong faster than shit. I mean, faster than you have to get to the bathroom because you've been driving 18 hours and drinking nothing but milkshakes. And it's time to hit that bathroom, right? Ready? So we're going to engage. Ready? Go. Boom. Go. Means bring that one back, right? So we're going to start here. On the first go, go. That happens. Again, on the first go, go. That happens. On the second one, you're going to shoot that one up and engage. Go. There you go. But engage, remember, engage in that. You're going to go boom, little bounce out. Boom.
And ideally, I'm getting you at the wrist to wrist. Doesn't matter.
Somewhere in here. Don't get so, little by little, we'll shrink it, but just get that bad boy out there. Make sure it's not your hand. As long as it's not your hand, we're golden. Right? Ready? Engage. Boom. Engage. Boom. Engage. Boom. Engage. Boom. Engage. Boom. Now we're already engaged. When I say go, boom. Go. Beautiful. Go. Good. Go. 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 Go, go, go. Put this one a little bit over there more. There you go. See, so now all this is covered. There, you don't want all these holes.
You don't want
So you're kind of here like this.
12 ribs over here. No problem.
I counted yesterday.
Yeah.
I got 7 and 15. I was like, what the shit?
Got extras.
All right, ready. Engage, 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 engage. All right, up, stay engaged. Yeah, you don't want to bend that.
I just don't want to come flying off.
Well, where'd it go? That was right. Engage. Remember, it's here. You don't want to be there. You're going to cut. Boom, there you go. And if this is bent the way it should be, I should be about there. That's all you need. Because from there, you're literally, it was to be me, and we're going to engage. And I go here. Boom, right from there. Boom. Quick shot to the groin. It's going to make you do this. So you get a quick shot to the groin. Here. Boom, boom. Then the headbutt's going to come in. Right? So, and nothing changes. And the more you do this, the more you guys should be adding to this mentally. You don't even have to do it. But you have to think to yourself, when you go here, right? When I tell you to go, go. Boom, right? And from there, where you're at, you should be able to see that if you turn me a little bit and you take that elbow, you drive your headbutt in, but you're going to do an elbow right to the top of my thigh. Boom, there you go. And then from there, right, so we're going to do this. Watch. I'm going to do it. Right, so we're going to go here. Beep. I'm going to do the technique. So reach, boom. And then I'm going to go here. Pop, right? And as I go here, you're going to put that hand right here. Boom, and you're going to stop me. Okay? So now all I need to do is come right through this hole here. Boom, and I'm going to hit. You're already covered here. Boom, and I'm going to hit. Boom, and I'm going to up here. Boom, and I'm going to hit here, and I'm going to stomp. So it doesn't matter what drill we're doing, it's going to take you right back to the same loop of where are the openings. That opening came from not the first move, not the second move, but the third. Stop my hand. How have we been doing it for the last half hour?
The elbow.
Boom, there you go, right? It came from here, right? Because all I got to do is, once I let go of this, it doesn't matter. This is here. What are you going to do? You got to come around or over or under, and I'm going to hit. As soon as I get to here, either this one's going to come down and hit, right? Or this one's going to come across and hit. And then after that happens, boom, boom, that's going to happen. And then that's going to happen. And then this is going to happen. Boom, and then that's going to happen. Boom, and that's going to happen. Boom, and that's going to happen. Plus whatever's going to happen down here. And maybe a high-low right from there. But what you're thinking is, on the next one, you're going to go 1, right? And then you don't do anything. I'm going. You're reaching, and I'm doing 1, right? Because I'm just showing you this. And then I'm going to go to my 2, right? And for my 2, I go like this. Boom. Right? And then like I said, if you're squatted down a little bit, right from here, because that hand is free, right? And this is a good place to be, right? So why not? Since I'm already here, I'm just going to go wham, straight down to here. And I can grab that leg and go for a takedown. But it depends how bent you are and how low I went. If I'm way down here, hell yeah, I'm going to drop an elbow. Or yeah, I'm going to drop that knee. Boom, then I'm going to drop that headbutt. But what I'm saying is, while you're driving, you shouldn't be thinking about the fight you just had. You should be literally thinking, what if a kid jumped out in front of me? So instead of doing stupid driving like most of us do, you're doing defensive driving, but do it in an offensive way. Same thing. Ready to freaking rip and go through traffic and go around shit. Go in the grass if you have to. But your mind is always thinking about the job at hand. You know, when I drive, I try not to be. I try. It doesn't happen all the time not to be pissed off about work, not to be pissed off about this, that, or the third, or my mind is somewhere else. Try to keep it on that driving. So when I'm in a situation, the second I get into that situation, I'm always scanning, but I'm always following concepts. And then depending on the situation, you know, if I need to, like, let's say I already assessed cadre, conflict assessment, de-escalation, right? So we got the conflict, we assess it, we de-escalate it, and we resolve that bitch. So I assessed that I got to get out of there fast. Well, I got to start taking out of whatever my basket is and try to remove the shit that's more complex, gonna take more time, I'm not that good at, right? And you start narrowing down to the shit pertinent to that situation. If there's a weapon involved, there's a lot of shit you gotta throw out immediately. That shouldn't even be in your head. So once you're in that mindset, you're gonna flow. You're gonna remember those drills of, oh shit, getting out of the way quick. When it's people flying through, I mean, winding up like crazy or doing this kind of stuff, then you're thinking about intercepting. Just boom, boom, right to the eye. They go like this, boom, you go to the eye. They wind up, boom, you go to the groin, right? So you immediately, so that's why You always do it. When do you do it? When you're drilling. That's when you find all those things. That's when you say to yourself, and it's in milliseconds because you're moving, he's moving. So we're here. All I need you to do is see it. So long as you see it, you're going to know how to react to it, right? If you see a cliff, you won't go off it, will you? Well, unless you're suicidal. But if you don't see it, and then you're like, ah, and now you're dead, right? But once you see it, you're, what's the word they use? Privy to it. So in your drills, I just want you to be privy to this shot. I want to make sure you saw it. And don't lie to yourself. Because when we do this stuff, I'll have you raise your hand. What did you see there? Oh, from this position, I could go here, go here, go here, go here, go here. I can go here with this. I can go here with that. I can go there with the other. From there, I would follow up with A. And then if this happens, I can go here. If you react and he's really low, boom, I'm going to follow. And now I'm like, all right, now you're getting the picture. But the picture, I didn't give you. All I gave you was the crayons and the canvas, and you drew your own picture. Whereas in a traditional class, everybody's drawing me the same picture at the same time. And everybody's doing the same. And my throat hurts when I get home from acting Chinese because nobody says "ayah" like an American guy. They even make it sound god dang Chinese. See what I mean? So I need you to see that, but I don't need you to see that only when you're fighting because you're going to be in trouble. I want you cooking and seeing techniques. I want you driving your car and seeing techniques. Your hand is here and you're picturing, you got a huge windshield, birds flying around and you're picturing, man, that bird happens to turn left here and just come flying through. He's got that beak about to go on my head. My hands are at 10 and 2 or 9 and 3, wherever it is you place your hands. And obviously without doing this and crashing my car, but my hands will be doing that motion without grabbing the wheel. Boom, I'm gonna go like that and let that bird bounce off my arm. Yeah, I know it's a little psychotic, but that's how you get your practice because we got such busy lives. So I want you to drill. Don't think of the entire drill. Think about the micro piece or the micro set. Take that micro set or that micro piece and train it, right? Isolate it, that micro piece. Grab here. Boom, I'm gonna grab you. Boom, you grab me. Boom, I grab you. Boom. And we do that 100 times. But what happens, we get into the dojo and we mindlessly, we all do it. Well, you mere mortals. When I say we, I mean you mere mortals, not, don't count me. You guys got issues on this planet. I'm playing, right? So you reach, bah, I reach, bah, right? And you picture, you're telling yourself. You're not mindlessly, all right, let's do it like 10 times back and forth. Boom, 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 boom. Well, remember, one time you do this, the next time you just grab. So you grab and you shoot. Grab, so I'm gonna grab, boom. Now you're gonna grab, boom. I'm gonna grab, boom. Now you're gonna grab, boom. I'm gonna grab, boom. Now you're gonna grab, boom, right? And then we mindlessly, once when I'm not saying that, we just start doing, just go ahead, boom, boom. And you just, and you're not picturing. I want the picture in your head. The second you do this, boom, I would have rolled and done that. And the next time, boom, I would have rolled and done that. And that's what I want. I want that psychotic mentality of hurting people. Every time you do a move in a drill, right? Throw that hand again, and I'm gonna go boom, right? And then I'm supposed to go boom, and then I'm supposed to go boom. I want you to think, even if you're gonna do it again, even if I'm doing it like this, again, I want you to think on each one, bam, bam, bam. Every time you're thinking of taking that dude's eyes out, and when you pull your hand back, right? It looks like all those little, you know what a cake pop is? It's basically they put a little cake or a little, you know what the munchkins are? Donut holes? We used to call them munchkins.
I do.
Dunkin' Donuts. Think about a donut hole on a stick, right? So now picture their eye is the donut hole and the stick is your finger. And all you're thinking about is after you're doing this, boom, you're thinking about eyeballs on the tip. Yes, I know it's sick. Give me a break, all right? Eyeball, 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 eyeball.
This is all premised on the attackers trying to.
It's premised on I don't give a damn what he does. It doesn't matter.
No, but
because if I'm here and you turn and look at me wrong, boom, I should be thinking about putting that finger on here. Or see what I'm saying? Because if I do it here, right, I'm going to pull it on here. If I go here, it's going to end up on here. If I go here, so all I'm thinking is that it's not any specific finger. I'm just thinking of feeding you fingers, a finger salad, right? So anything that happens, if that window is open, my mentality is I got to be fast both ways. I got to be fast so I can get that finger all the way in. I got to pull it out fast so that it's still on there because I don't want to stick it in your eye and then just pull out my finger. I want to pull out your eyeball on the tip of my finger. That's the mentality. Because A, we don't fight for bullshit, right? We don't fight over middle fingers. We don't fight over somebody saying something about your mother, because you already know she's the best mother. I mean, you went and bought her the mug that says world's best mom, like another 99,000 people. 98,999 of them are fucking liars. Because you only have one best, right? So the other 99,000 are a bunch of fucking liars. Regardless, right? So we don't fight over that. So when we do, we know we have the right to poke your eye out. And that's the beauty of it. Because you don't have to think about, oh, what if I hurt him? Or what, like people, that's where you don't get into fights over bullshit. You hit a guy, he falls, hits his head, dies. At minimum, you got manslaughter. 7 to 10 probably, if you're lucky and you got a good lawyer. Probably do about 7 years. I don't care at what age in your life. Imagine going in at 18, right? You're going to come out at like 23 years old. Like, damn, that sucks, right? Imagine going in at 30. Come out at 37. You're done. You pass your prime. Because your prime's probably between 28 and 35 or something. So you go right in the middle of your prime. You come back and done. And let's say they don't consider it manslaughter. You got a shitty lawyer and they hit you with murder. First order sticking, whatever. 15 to 20. I don't care what age. Now your life is done. You're going at 20, come out at 40, you're done. What are you going to start going to college then? Finish your college, or 2 years in, you're going to finish your college now at 40? I don't want to hear about you guys out there that are going to school at 40. That's some issues you must have. If you're not finishing college at 35, no, I'm just playing. Go to college whenever you want. They're like, yeah, that's just, you're dumb, Mr. Rodriguez. I am. I should have gone. But you see what I'm saying? Your entire mentality is from anything. You looked at me wrong, boom, there went your eye. You went to shove my chest, boom, right? Same thing. It's a different technique, but I'm still going in here. And I'm not thinking split entry, push my chest, and mindlessly, and that's what these guys do. And they're not picturing that intent of what you're trying to do. And you're actually picturing what you want to do. I'm not picturing breaking your jaw, because picturing me breaking your jaw is a 50-50 shot of me picturing myself breaking my hand. My always intent is, if you're punching here, is I'm thinking punch, thinking getting this out of the way and getting myself out, while simultaneously this is going up, beep, and I got an eyeball. Or on any one of those fingers, when I retract my hand, I have a little cake pop of eyeballs. A little cake pop, just little cake balls on top of these little sticks.
Smart man stays out of your range.
Now, the smart man just stays out of dumb shit. Now, I don't know, just my range. But because it doesn't matter where you stand. If I feel in danger, right? Let's just say you're standing here and you turn and look at me sideways, and I know that you're the town big boy. And again, like I said, like the guy that's hogtied, I screw up a lot of things if I end up in these situations. Because what am I doing in a place that I've never been to before without 2 or 3 friends? Because that's rule number 1. And it's my personal rule. I will never go to a place as a first timer by myself, ever. Oh, there's a new club in town. Go by myself. New bar in town. Go by myself. Doesn't happen. If I'm going to go somewhere, and depending on what town, it's a happening club, but it's on the outskirts of shitland. Well, even the shit's going to come in just because it's in the nice area, but there's a shitty area around. So then you got a bunch of jack wagons coming in there. So what are the chances I might get into a fight? The higher those numbers are, the more people I bring. So if I'm a first timer in a bad neighborhood, I'm going 5 deep. And that's only because of the type of people I know. If I was a regular person, just a normal person who thought this way and didn't know how to fight, I wouldn't go to a place like this without 10 friends. That's like a minimum. We're talking about a bar or a club. 2, 3 dozen people could be on this guy's team. I'm not worried about it, because if we're smart, we find a couple of corners, we don't got to worry about too much stuff. Or I got 3 or 4 friends around me, and they got a couple, so 10's a good number. But those are the rules, right, that you should be. If you're violating all kinds of rules, you're going to end up in shit. If you're fighting over middle fingers, you're going to end up in shit. If you're fighting over your mama, you're going to get into shit. You're going to clubs that you've never been to, you're going to get into shit if you're going by yourself. You're pulling into parking space instead of backing in. You're going to get that because you're just not in the right mindset. Once you start doing that, where you're always backing into spaces, where you're going to places you've never been with 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 10 people, and now you're into the life, right? Everything you do, okay, you're picturing snapping that arm, you're picturing poking that eye, you're picturing hitting the groin, you're picturing always stepping onto something. When you drop that foot, it's always going to land on something. Like I said, if that leg is like that and I'm low, boom, I'm going to drop into here. See how I'm well and covered? And then again, small, boom, I'm going to come right in here and I'm going to drive and take you to the ground. But I'm picturing everything all the time. All the damn time. 24/7. When I'm on the computer, I'm doing the same exact thing. I will look at my computer and see the laptop and see that door and see how it would grab. The laptop folds like this, right? Here's the laptop. So if I'm grabbing this part of it, I'm swinging it. Or my son's who does that halvesy thing, you know how it's the one that you could turn? I tried that on my laptop. I didn't know that they all couldn't do that. And it went crack, snap. And those are only the tablets. Digressing, right? And grab this thing, boom, and smack you over the head, right? You're coming towards me. I have arms on that chair, right? I figure, depending on how your arm is, if I'm resting on that chair, right, and there's that hole there, if I can get your hand through that hole, so instead of doing this to you, okay, instead of doing that to you, I'm going to try, instead of this being here, I'm going to get your hand, right, this is where my hand is resting, I'm going to try to pull through that hole, boom, pull your hand through, and then take it out and around. Now, the arm of that chair is there as I'm cranking it onto your arm, and your arm's not going to feel real good, right? So those are the type of things. Yeah, I know it sounds crazy, but that one day, because it could happen, that dude comes blasting through the door, I've run this thing in my head so many times. The day that dude stands next to me, hopefully he didn't do something dumb, like, I just wanted to know the time. I guess you're going to have to look at my watch with your left eye because here's your right? Correct? But that's what I'm saying. You've run that in your head so many times. You hear people say this all the time. You can talk to people that know a lot more about this kind of stuff than I do, the mental part of it. But you visualize that. No woman goes to Lamaze and gives birth and then puts the baby back in and goes, or they come out and they practice, push it, okay, back in, all right, try it again, push it up, okay, back in, all right, cut the umbilical cord, all right, sew it back up, try it again. You're visualizing. Everything you're doing in Lamaze is just a hope and a prayer that the shit's going to turn out the way they say, that you're going to happen to be able to put yourself in that happy place and you'll breathe through it. Dude, anything anybody has ever told me to breathe through isn't that way. Like when you break a bone because you don't want to hyperventilate, or you really jam a finger, and like, and they're always, you want some water. I don't know, I guess water's supposed to calm things. I don't understand what a broken finger has to do with water. Or you get chest pains and they get you a glass of water for chest pains. I don't know. Or you start coughing, oh, let me get you a glass of water. Do people understand? I don't know, maybe there's people out there that don't, so I'm going to explain it. Because when people used to tell me that, I was like, are you trying to kill me? Because if I have an itchy throat, right, and I can't breathe, right? That's my air passage, right? And if it's scratchy and I got to itch it with water, I drown. I don't know if people know that. So if I let like a glass of water go into my lungs to soothe the coughing, because the coughing comes from the lungs, right? You get the cilia get too built up, whatever. Coughing is that cilia trying to get rid of the dust. So for water to stop me from coughing, if it could, it would have to go down my airway. Does that make any fucking sense to give someone who's choking water? And they always do. Anybody, I'm telling you, just watch TV, any show, TV, series, commercial, and somebody's coughing, oh, can I get you some water? If you don't love me, yeah, you can get me some water. If you want me to drown, because the only thing that's going to help my airway is something into my airway. So like a cough drop. Cough drops are the stupidest thing too. It's, oh, but what they're soothing is not what you thought you had then. Because if you're in your airway, you can't put anything there to soothe it, because if it's liquid anyway, because it gets in your lungs and then it's called drowning. Okay, so anyway.
Aspiration's bad. But yeah, I got your earlier point though, because of course in sport at the high levels, gotta do visualization techniques.
Because the fighting part is easy, right? If you see football players, boxers, let's say boxers are a perfect example, and I may guys probably the same. What they're actually going to do in that fight, they barely practice. They barely practice it, because most of it is preparation. They're working on those attributes. You know, McGregor knows how to choke people out. He doesn't need to practice how to choke people out. He needs to get his attributes higher and higher and higher so that his hands can come in. So he's got to work on his speed, his agility, right? His distance, his timing, his precision, on how he can use as little space as possible to get that hand in and around your neck without making it too wide where they're going to grab it, or it's going to take too long and you're going to cover it, or you're going to stop it, right? So you work on those things. You're not working on the technique. I'm Baron Damtino. He can do that technique in his sleep. A baseball player can hit a baseball in his sleep. Yeah, and they try to practice hitting the baseball, but it's never like when it comes out of a machine, but they practice that. Picking up grounders, that's not ever how it really happens. But all the other stuff like running, hitting the speed bag, hitting the heavy bag, hitting the mitts, and the guy's actually doing this. Nobody does this with their face or their body to you. But if you notice, most of the boxers, all that noise you hear, it's not even the boxer hitting the mitts. It's the damn trainer hitting them. You're just going, bah, 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 bah. Well, The bongos don't bounce up and hit your hands, and they still make noise, right? But that's because your hands are hitting the bongos. The bongos aren't jumping up hitting your hands. So it's the same, and they're going half the distance. Because I'm going like this, and then you're going like this, and it's like, and it looks great, and they're touching, and then instead of trying to hit me here, he's touching my shoulder, and I move my shoulder as he's trying to touch my shoulder. I don't even need to move, because if I touch your shoulder, nothing happens. The problem is the guy in the ring's not trying to touch my shoulder. So if you look at it as it's helping your fighting, it's not. It's helping your attributes, it's helping your speed, it's helping your time, it's helping a bunch of shit, but it's not helping you on how to fight. Those are your attributes. You either know how to fight or you don't. That's that. You either know or you don't. I can help you become a better fighter, but most of those guys aren't as good as the guys that just know how to fight. Like when people say, oh, he was born for this. Fighters, everybody, smart people are born to be smart. You don't turn dumb people smart. You just find smart people that thought they were dumb. You find smart people that have low self-esteem. You find smart people that went to shitty schools. But nobody's making rocket scientists. I guarantee you, nobody turned Einstein into Einstein. Einstein was Einstein. And somebody found him and said, hey, dude, you're really good at this shit. And he was like, oh, yeah. And he started liking it. The guy that invented the electric and the phone and every other damn thing. But people got to get that. And then you can shortcut a lot of this stuff. If you're not really good, you got to cheat. That's the way it is. Think about it. If you're not really good at cards and you're playing with a bunch of tycoons, but you're allowed to cheat, you're going to do a lot better. Your chances just increase, right? And you may even cheat enough to win because it's like, oh shit, I'm just going to stuff this faces and every time, 21 blackjack every time, because you're cheating, right? Why do they stop cheating? Because it's not fair. Almost all the teams that cheat, that unfair advantage is usually enough for them to win, usually. I don't know how it affected Houston, but they were cheating like crazy. The Astros, they had cameras, they had beepers to beep on, they had people beating on things, giving out signals. I mean, it's just not fair. But a fight, that's the good thing about a fight. Fights are all about unfair. It's all about cheating. And that's one of the few places where there's no penalty for cheating in a fight. There isn't football, there is anywhere you go that you cheat. And depending, if you're playing a card game in somebody's basement, the penalty could be death, you know. Luigi doesn't like that shit, you know what I mean? Hey, Tony, come here. And then off you go, right? So you are picturing every time I see this hand come out, I'm thinking of getting zapped. Don't let that damn thing touch me. This thing could kill me, but that other hand, boom, right into your eye. If I focus both hands on here, shit's going to get ugly because it's not going to help me as much as it should. So yeah, I've got to go for both. I've got to try to, some people say jar the computer. That takes force, right? Just like if I took a knife, it doesn't take any force because it's pointy, right? Now, if I try to push a hammer into you, well, that takes force. It'll crack your skull. If I want to get into your brain, right, with a hammer, I've got to slam it so I can crack through your skull to get to your brain. If I want to do it with a hammer, I just got to go and poke it in there, and since it's so pointy, it goes into your brain. It takes a little bit of force, yeah, but a tenth of what it does to get into your brain with a fucking hammer, right? So it's the same thing. You have an impact and an edged weapon, right? So the same thing. Let's call it you have some impact strikes and some edged strikes. What's an impact strike? With the same arm, this is an impact strike, right? And then this is a cutting. You feel that difference? Sorry about that, bro. That's a cut. This is a stick, a knife. Let's look at it that way. If you think about stick and knife, here's the stick, here's the knife.
Few things more dangerous than that elbow, I'll tell you.
There's nothing.
Elbow.
If I'm up here, right, short of like what we do, if you're throwing things up here, you need to raise it to catch things, right? But the thing is this, straight punches, this is the one that you're usually going to see, which thank God usually takes longer, you know, than just the jab. So trying to block jabs with that is not really a good idea. I mean, you could do it, but I'm pretty sure guys, even with their hands up here, because of where, now if I throw it, put your hands up. If I throw it up, there you go. And elbows are in. If I go to throw a punch, I just want you to try to make it land on your elbow. Boom, there you go, right?
For a jab, I
boom.
See it's not...
You know, for a jab, boom, I'm gonna get that jab in, because I'm not gonna jab from here, and like, I see a lot of people, hands up, regular boxer. And I see guys that jab like this. They step in with their jab. I'm gonna move around. I'm gonna reach with this one and stay enough to, but I'm back here, so I'm barely, and you're like, oh, he's way out of the way. But this one, boom, is way over there. and then from that same area, I'll play, and then boom, that's where I'm going to jab from. You're not going to put your elbow in front of that. Accidentally, hey, shit does happen. You got lucky. But on the real, if your hands are up and you're going to try to do elbow destructions, even from here to a jab, you're probably right. It will work against some putts. But then again, it's the same. It's like cheating. Think about it. It's like playing cards with 3-year-olds. Well, you're not really playing cards, man. That's bullshit. If my hands are way up here and I got a guy throwing jabs, this is my front hand, but he's throwing jabs like this. Yeah, that's going to happen. But if he's up here and he's getting into any kind of position and he's faking you, and then on this fake he does this, boom, and on that fake before the foot even lands, because most guys land hit. It's a half beat. But if you're stepping, boom, and your hand is landing way below your foot, you're not gonna. So what you need to do if your elbows are up, you need to start learning on how to put this elbow where your chin would have been. So you got to learn how to get into a bomb style and rock, right? And then you put something, right? I'm going to find something that's not as tall as it should be, but let's say, okay, let's take this. But you're going to say this is a broom, guys. This is going to be something stiff. David, I don't want to hear you, okay, because I know what you're thinking. Right? And you're going to get something about this high, and you're just going to put it here, right? So I'm going to have him just hold that right there. You're going to hold it right there. Don't let that move, right? So he's going to try to hit my jaw. My hand, drop this a little bit, my hands would be here, correct? So I got to move. All right, so we're going to have to put this. I see. Here's what you're going to do. Keep going, keep going, keep going. So this is where my chin would be. Keep going. You got to move this out of the way because your hand wouldn't be there. So keep this like this. It's going to be a pain. Yeah, there you go. Hold it with the other hand. Good, right? So here's where I would be, right? So you're going to hold this right here. I'm going to be here. He's going to go to punch my chin. I got to learn how to rock. See? There you go. That's perfect. Because that's the trajectory he's going to follow. Like I've told you 100 times, people aren't going to swing and miss your chin. They miss because you go like this. You're never in a history of a hook going to see that happen if he doesn't move. It doesn't happen. I swing it, I'm going to hit him. I turn this way. I swing, I'm going to hit him. I swing, see? You're not going to miss. So he's here, right? That's my chin. Here's my hands. What I got to learn how to do is, got to get here where I'm supposed to be, is when I rock, see, that's where I want to be. If I'm here, that's where the problem lies. So you got to get good enough without having this. Keep this here. There you go. Without having that there to be able to go. Put that right there. So that's how you're doing it. You're just dropping this quick right to here. It's almost like a parry. Boom. Right? Because remember, it's from a hook punch. It's going to take time. But otherwise, if you start turning too far, here's where the guy's going to hit. If you don't turn enough, here's where you're going to get hit. So you got to learn. Put this back. Right? And it's just like when you do the rope like this and you're going over and under, right? When you have a rope going across, you do the same thing. I mean, Bruce Lee was famous for making up his own training equipment. Famous. So you've got to put something here, right? This is where you're fighting. So you're going to find whatever it is that you're going to put here and then figure out what you're doing to get to here. So you start noticing and you'll get, and you boom, and you're going to get to a point where it's right. See here, that's not where I want to be. Here's where my chin was. I can't be here, right? I got to learn how to go, boom, that's where I want to be. There's where my chin was. So you're going to put this, and the motion to here has got to intersect that line. So anywhere through, so at least it's blocking, so it doesn't matter, keep it on that trajectory. So if you know the trajectory is the end of it, because this could be really wide, it could be low, and then hit you in the chin. The last piece of it, you've got to make sure that this elbow is somewhere in there. And so you're going from here, looking into the camera. Here's my chin, right? I'm going to leave my hand here as much as I can while I move back. And you got to go boom, see? Boom. Sometimes here, sometimes here. So it takes work. It's just like parrying. You're not going to parry perfect every time, right? But these are things that you're going to practice at home. Bop. You're going to rock. You're here. Just rocking back and putting this in the way. Rocking back. And if your vision, this is why you can't do this, because I want to see this thing, you'll be able to kind of last minute, last second, you get a little bit of adjustment. Just that little bit. And that's how you practice. But thinking that I'm going to keep my hand up here and from jabs, I'm going to do destructions, guys. Just be careful with that, man, because understand how fast jabs are. Good? Got a full understanding of this? Now, we're gonna start, and I'm going to have to ask you, we're going to have to start blowing through techniques and just doing 30, 40, 50, 60 of them, and just keep doing, maybe go like 3 weeks. Write down the questions if you have to, because I know you want to have a deep understanding of this, but we got to start getting some of this stuff into your muscle memory, you know. And it is. You're one of the smarter people that does ask a lot of questions, wants to know. Most people are like, oh, next technique. They'll do it 2 or 3 times. Next technique. Show me the next one. Show me. And they got all these boxes of inadequate, useless shit. So it's important to know, but we're going to start getting, you know, more stuff in there. Because, I mean, here today, we got, go here. We got this part. We got this part. We got this part. We got this part. You're coming underneath. Boom. And then you're bringing this one over like, let's like a back fist to hit me here. Boom. There you go. So we go here. Boom. Let's do it again. Boom, right? So I go, boom, you stop my hand. Boom, now what happens? You go to hit me in the head. Boom, I go here, okay? And then again, now take this hand, I swing this out of the way. And then again, I can start the same way. Right from here, I let that go, and then we're gonna do the same thing. Now I'm gonna go to stab you. You're gonna swing down. Boom, there you go. Here, boom, you're gonna go up. You're gonna go here. You're gonna go to cut here. Cut, right? See what I'm trying to say? Let's do it again. I go to grab, boom, pop underneath, go back over there, boom, right? Or, again, you're holding here, hold down there. Okay, watch me do it again. Grab. You're gonna go swing, bring this back, push it forward, stop this one. Once you do this, once I stop yours, see, now you're starting to do my technique. I'm finishing. If I'm doing positive, so you're thinking too much. When I just told you I'm doing it, the only thing you're going to do is you're going to reach for me, right? And I go 1, 2, and now you just stop my hand. Boom, there you go. And your last move is you just do stop and go up. That's it. And then we go back, and then I can go here, right? So we can go, again, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we start over. I clear, and then I go to poke you, right? And there's several variations of it. Some of them are one technique longer, and they change a little bit. But it's basically, it's a swinging motion, getting this out of the way. Okay, again, swinging motion, getting this out of the way. Popping this here, going towards your kidney. Okay, you stop it from underneath with your elbow. Boom, and then you come over the top here, and I obviously just come back up here, and I swing this out of the way. And then I'd go to poke, and you're going to do the same thing I just did. You're going to swing. There you go. Oh. There you go. Swing. Good. Now pop. Go ahead. But bring it back. There you go. Quick. And then from there, you're going to you have this one here that you just came back. You're going to hit. Boom. Okay. So, again, let's do it again. I reach. 1, 2. Okay. There you go. Again. 1, 2. I stop there. Right? Now, once I stop there, you're going to come up and hit me in the head. Boom. And just remove this one, remember. As this one's coming up, I don't have to worry about this. Like if I'm here, what I don't want to do is this. But I can do this from here. See, as this one's coming away, this is on its way here, right? And I can remove from here, boom, as long as I'm going to do something else, right? We're replacing. So you're replacing your hand with that knife getting in your stomach. Boom, you're stopping that. So I'm going to stab, you're going to stop my hand. Boom. Then you're going to move it out of the way, try to stop. Boom. And I go here. Now you're going to move that. Boom. And I got to go here. Right? And once I stop this, since you're pushing this way, what do I want to do? What makes sense that I'm going to go here. So I'm clearing circular high, circular low. Circular from the outside, circular from the inside. So I have this going on. I have this going on. I have this going on. That's basically all that's happening, and I could keep doing it just like this, and this is a good way to practice that. I'll feed it to this one, circle it around to here, or I can circle on outside, inside, outside, inside, outside, inside, outside, inside, outside, inside, outside. That's the same thing I'm doing here, and we can just work this drill, right? And then what I'll do is I'll go here, and then you'll go to, as I'm doing this, you go to push my chest with that hand, and then I start this one, right? And then you bring the other one in, and then I start just doing this. And that's all this shit that you see, that's this kind of stuff. And then people say, who the fuck's gonna do that? And they're right. So that's why we don't do all this shit, and I'm on the outside on this one, and on the inside of that, right? And I'm just moving stuff around, and I'm going here, right? Inside, outside, and I'm moving Who's going to do this, right? And you're trying to hit me. You're trying to push into my chest with either hand, pushing into my chest. And I'm just moving hands around, coming back to here, right? And supposedly, again, from being able to do this is where I should be able to do this and this. But we sit here doing this. My students will freaking send me to hell, right? I can't be doing that. I'm moving your hands around, right? Or I'm moving this one, and then this one, and then this one. Or I start doing this, right? Inside, outside. And then I go the other way. So I can go this way, right? Or I can go the other way. And then if you look at the Wing Chun dummy, there's moves like that on the dummy. But the dummy's arms don't move. So it doesn't look like that, but the movement is the same. It's like swimming weird. Break shit down, digressing to where we were. I'm going to tell these guys that because they've been doing this a long time. No. Just break down all this shit that you've done for a long time, the 108 moves, break them down, functionalize them, put them in a little micro set of a drill, and then you'll see it. You will see trapping will work. You will see Chi Sao does work. You will see even Chi Ger. Chi Ger works. There's nothing different with me blocking a kick and then stomping his foot. If I catch his kick with my chin, it's the same thing as when we used to do Chi Ger, which is just leg Chi Sao. Thank you. Sorry I was late. We'll see you guys next week.